Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to OB News 1. We will give you the best quality news on the best quality filming devices. First up, Fast 5 News Selection. AUFA and the Acadia Administration Unions came to a tentative agreement on Monday, November 27th. Students are still waiting to hear exactly what was agreed upon. Trump is under investigation to get impeached. Stay tuned next week to hear more updates. The Acadia Student Union will be opening a food bank on campus. Students may no longer have to track down their on-campus friends to steal food from Meal Hall. Has studying become overwhelming? Are you in need of a break? Head on over to the Therapy Dog Room on December 7th at 11 a.m. at the Vaughn Memorial Library. Alright, back to today's feature story. 7 years ago, OB News 1 covered the case of the BP Oil Deep Horizon spill, which occurred over 87 days, pouring 3.19 million barrels of oil into the Gulf of Mexico. Alicia, can you remind our viewers of what exactly happened during the BP oil spill?
Would love to, Trey. On Tuesday, April 20th, in 2010, the BP oil rig's Deep Horizon rig exploded, initiating major leakage of oil into the Gulf of Mexico. The explosion resulted in 11 deaths and multiple injuries. The spill was the result of inadequate upper management and ineffective planning for disaster management. Individuals, both on the rig and along the coastlines, were affected, along with the ecosystems, and it's also affected the economic stability of local citizens. Let's take a look back at the footage with the company's CEO, Tony Hayward, after the incident. Mr. Hayward, do you have anything to say to the individuals who lost their family members on the rig?
We're sorry for the massive disruption it's caused their lives. There's no one who wants this over more than I do. I would like my life back.
Well, that was comforting. Mr. Hayward, environmentalist groups are speaking out with concern on the impact the explosion had on the environment both in the Gulf of Mexico and the surrounding coast. What is your stance on that?
I think the environmental impact of this disaster is likely to have been very, very modest.
It's interesting looking back to see that Hayward expected minimal environmental damage. Elizabeth, do you think you could remind our audience of the damage the spill actually caused?
Of course, Alicia. 10.9 million pounds of oil was removed between 2011 and 2013 in Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana. The pounds of oil threatened a variety of species. Over 6,000 seabirds, 600 sea turtles, and over 150 mammals died. One of the most detrimental impact of the spill is the damage done by coral reefs. Coral ecosystem 3 times larger than the Manhattan experienced tissue loss and coral bleaching due to the oil film from the spill.
What the hell did we do to deserve this? The Gulf of Mexico is a very big ocean. The amount of volume of oil and dispersant we are putting into it is tiny in relation to the total water volume.
Yikes. Tony Hayward really did not do well in the public eye 7 years ago. So Trey, do you think you could tell us exactly what happened during the spill? Where was the company's management in all of this?
Funny you should ask about management, Alicia. The disaster was essentially caused by a lack of adequate management and poor disaster planning preparation.
Fake news.
BP Oil's first mistake was in the construction of the rig. Most oil rigs require a certain thickness of cement to ensure the pipeline stays centered while the cement is poured equally around it. A gadget called a centralizer is used. The centralizers are crucial in stabilizing the pipe while the cement is being poured. The cement will flow to the side of the pipeline without centralizers, allowing more space and thus more gas to seep in. In an attempt to cut costs of this installation, BP decided to only use 6 centralizers as opposed to the recommended 21.
Now Trey, correct me if I'm wrong, but were the workers on Deep Horizon only trained on the job and didn't have any opportunities to gain promotions or advance in their work? Would that not be a lack of autonomy and perhaps even likely a lack of bureaucratic work environment?
That is correct. On top of all this, there was extremely inadequate planning in place in case of disaster. Management was disorganized and created confusion for the workers on the rig. It's never a good idea to cut costs when it concerns worker environment safety. Hopefully that was a lesson learned by BP Oil.
Thank you, Trey. We are OB News 1, and stay tuned to hear more about Nike. Should you really just do it?